All right, so our last question in regards to brand strategies, how do you get return clients if you do strategy correctly? And so this was in response to the video we did on what is a brand strategist. And I made the comment that if you do it right and your clients love you, they're gonna come back and you're gonna be able to work with them. And the person asking the question was basically like, well, if you do strategy correctly, then they shouldn't have to come back to you to re-strategize. And so how do you get return clients on strategy? And that's the thing, is like strategy is never final. I don't know any business that has ever done the one strategy and that's the one strategy that they're riding on forever. The best businesses are constantly strategizing. Why? Because we're constantly facing new problems, we're constantly facing new challenges. I mean, take COVID for example. If you didn't re-strategize and restructure your business based off of what happened during the pandemic, well, you're foolish. And so there's always different things that are happening in the market. And also, not every insight that you glean from the first set of discovery questions that you ask are going to answer every question that might come along. So yeah, basically there's always going to be new challenges. There's going to be a list of maybe 100, but in this particular situation, I said my first 2 weeks of working with you is to really narrow down our prioritized challenges, right? So even though we might have 100 different things we want to eventually address, what are the initial ones that are the most important? And that's what my job is in the first couple of weeks. And so this means that we're for sure gonna have to have another engagement if we want all these other questions answered. Another example is a client that we did a brand strategy for, and this was a couple years back, and we had to do messaging, marketing strategy, and a website design strategy. And they've been a retainer client for us for the last couple years. And so we based our strategy off of everything we gleaned in the discovery session. And in discovery, a lot of times you're using imagination and empathy unless you have actual hard data. A lot of times you don't have hard data for some of these things and you're just using your best judgment on answering these questions. Well, it turns out that we've ran with that strategy. We've got a lot of great results, but we're actually missing the mark in certain areas. And so now we have to revisit that strategy. And I have a session scheduled next week to revisit our strategy session from a couple years ago because we need to update and change our messaging. So it's just a misnomer to think that you do strategy correctly the one time, you're never gonna have to do it again. There's always new challenges, there's always new hurdles to overcome, and that's what the role of the strategist is to help you overcome those things. And if you help people and they enjoy the process, they're going to come back to you several times as you progress in your career as a strategist. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Make sure this content gets out to more people. And if you are a creative entrepreneur and you're looking to level up, maybe you feel stuck, learn from my mistakes. At agency.butlerbranding.com, we have a free webinar that talks about everything I've learned in scaling Butler Branding since we started in 2012. I'm talking about everything I've learned from brand positioning, marketing, sales, strategy, and project management. So learn to level up for free at agency.butlerbranding.com.